kind of ring. We are going to study a particular kind of ring. So for that, we need to start with the definition, which is zero divisor. So what do we mean by zero divisor? So I'll be firstly giving you the definition, and then we will have examples of the same. So what is a zero divisor? So a zero divisor is a non-zero element of a ring R. So what is the characteristic of that ring? It is a commutative ring with unity. Right? So we know the meaning of commutative, we know the meaning of unity, that is a multiplicative identity should be there. So zero divisor is a non-zero element of a ring R such that, so you can use the notation here A. So I'm calling the small a as a zero divisor such that there exists non-zero element B in ring R with A into B is 0, right? So there is an element of a ring R. That element itself is a non-zero element if you go by the definition, and what is happening upon multiplication with another non-zero element in the same ring, it's making it 0. So that element is known as a zero divisor. So because in general we always know that product of two non-zero numbers is always non-zero. We use this many times that if x into y is 0, that either x is 0 or y is 0. We know we always use this in our real analysis, or we always use this in mathematics, and everybody believes it that whenever we have x into y is 0, either x is 0 or y is 0. So why we believe this to be trivial or always true? Because most of the times we are dealing with x and y are real numbers or the complex numbers, and we will see that why this property is true in real numbers and complex numbers, because there are no zero divisors in the ring of reals or in the ring of complex numbers. So this is basically a property of real numbers or complex numbers. This is also true for integers. You are multiplying two integers. If the product is 0, so definitely one of them has to be 0. You cannot say product of two non-zero integers is 0. Is that clear to all? This is what we know so far. Now this is a new term coming up which says that if there are elements like this, that individually they are non-zero, but on multiplying them we get a 0 element, so that element is known as a zero divisor. So it's clear to remember the name zero divisor is very easy. So they are dividing 0, because whenever we write a into b is say n, so we see that a is a divisor of n and b is a divisor of n, right? So we know that this is always happening. So यहाँ पे क्या है, AB is 0, so basically A divides 0, B divides 0, so both A and B are acting as divisors of the 0, so that's why they are known as zero divisors. But this is the property that multiplication or the product of two non-zero elements of ring is 0, because 0 element is always there in the ring. So if this is happening in a particular ring, so that particular element are known as the zero divisors. I hope the definition is clear to everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So we can have examples. So obviously, I told you we will not be looking examples in integers, reals, or complex, because for them we know this is always true that whenever the product is 0, one of the number is 0. You cannot give me two real numbers which individually both of them are non-zero, but multiplication on multiplication they become 0. That's not possible. But I can give you an example of a ring. Say let's take the example of Z6. So we know what is this, what are the elements of ring Z6. So these are the integers modulo 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already know this is a ring under addition and multiplication. These are the default properties of a ring, you can verify. So now I want to know, is there any element, is there any zero divisor in this particular ring? So you can see here, if I take 2 and 3, so 2 is non-zero and 3 is non-zero element of this ring Z6, right? But if I multiply 2 and 3, what I get is 0, because we know how that is how multiplication is defined in this ring. So you get clearly 2 and 3 both are zero divisors of the ring Z6. Is it clear? Is this clear? 2 and 3 both are acting as zero divisors of ring Z6 because
Yes,
vectors are
ma'am.
non-zero, but on multiplying becoming zero. Any other zero divisor can you identify in the same ring?
3 and 4.
And 3.
3 and 4.
Means 3, I have already said 3 is a zero divisor because it is just there exist. Means it's not like it should make every element zero. Even if one combination exists, so that is also true. So 3 and 2 both are already counted as zero divisors through this example. So you can see 4. 4 is also a zero divisor because if I multiply 4 with 3, so this is 12, which is 0 mod 6, right? So 4 is also the zero divisor. The 4 element 4 is also zero divisor in this particular ring. Any other zero divisor you can find in this ring? No? Yeah. So there is an interesting result. This question I'll be also adding as one of the question in the your next assignment, in assignment questions, that you will see that interestingly what happens that in this kind of rings Zn, or you say, okay, let's take the example of Z6 again. So I'm just writing this again. So I got to know 2, 3, 4 are zero divisors. We just saw that. बाकी कौन से elements बचे? 1 and 5. 0 को हम नहीं count करते because the zero divisor itself should be non-zero. 1 and 5 के बारे में कुछ बता सकते हो? Any characteristic?
मैम इनकी GCD 6 के साथ 1 है. They are co-prime to 6.
Okay, they are co-prime. And anything else? Are they unit elements of this ring? 1 is definitely unit element because 1 is a multiplicative identity. The unity is always a unit element. So 1 we know is definitely having the multiplicative inverse. 1 into 1 is 1, right? Because itself is unity. 5, yeah, 5 is also unit element. You can verify. 5 into 5 is 25, which is 1 mod 6. So both 1 and 5 basically are units. तो जितने भी नॉन जीरो एलिमेंट्स है रिंग के, दे क्लियरली गेट सेपरेटेड into two subsets. Few of them are zero divisors and the rest of them are units. So there's a very interesting result about it, that this is it always going to happen in these kind of rings that some elements will be zero divisors and rest of the elements will be units? There can there be some element which is neither a zero divisor nor a unit, something like that? So we'll discuss those questions and put those questions in assignment, and there we can discuss those in detail, where we can have a general proof or general argument about these kind of rings. Are you getting the question? कि जीरो को छोड़ के जितने भी एलिमेंट्स हैं हमने जीरो डिवाइजर्स लिस्ट कर लिए और हमने यूनिट्स लिस्ट कर लिए. सो दे आर कंप्लीटली डिसजॉइंट सबसेट्स. जो जीरो डिवाइजर है वो यूनिट नहीं है और जो यूनिट है वो जीरो डिवाइजर नहीं है, एंड उनका जब यूनियन करेंगे तो दैट कंप्राइजेस ऑफ ऑल द नॉन जीरो एलिमेंट्स ऑफ द ring. Anyways, so this will be discussed in detail in the in the other kind of questions. Is it clear up to so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So are there any zero divisors in Z, the ring of integers? I already told you the answer though. There are no zero divisors in the ring of integers, because any two integers m and n, if their product is 0, where we know that m and n are integers, then it implies either m is 0 or n is 0, or both, means at least one of them has to be 0, right? Okay, so let me give you the next definition. Why we are defining zero divisors? Because this helps us in defining the next type of algebraic structure we have. This is integral domain. So integral domain is nothing but a commutative ring with unity is said to be an integral domain ID, right, if it has no zero divisors. So if the ring, first of all, the condition is that it should be a commutative ring with unity, because only then we can use the definition of zero divisor, because the definition is applicable to those rings which are commutative with unity. So it should be a ring with unity, commutative, and then if it has no zero divisors, it is said to be an integral domain. So just give me an example of integral domain.
Integers.
Yeah. So integers is an integral domain. Z is an ID, because we have just seen that the ring of integers has no zero divisors, and it is also a commutative ring with unity. So Z, this is first example. You can have more examples. Reals, the ring of reals, that is an integral domain, right? Rationals, yeah. Complex, Zi, Gaussian integers, this is also an integral domain. You can verify this one, because it's easy to verify that this is also not going to have any zero divisors. Apart from this, we have other examples. A plus b root 2 ab belongs to z. These are all examples of integral domain, right? So this kind of rings are known as, it's z along with root 2, along with root 2, because see, root 2 is not an integer, so it will contain elements like this. It is a superset of z. Z is contained in z root 2. So means it's something like आप पूरी रिंग के साथ एक एलिमेंट एक्स्ट्रा जोड़ रहे हो, एंड दैट एलिमेंट इज रूट 2. बट फिर क्या होता है, क्योंकि रूट 2 की प्रेजेंस से क्लोजर लॉ भी सेटिस्फाई करना होता है, तो रूट 2 के मल्टीपल्स भी वहां पे होने चाहिए, तो बी रूट 2 आ जाता है. अंडर एडिशन भी क्लोजर लॉ सेटिस्फाई होना चाहिए, तो a प्लस बी, इस तरह के एलिमेंट्स उसमें आ जाते हैं. सो विल स्टडी दीज काइंड ऑफ एलिमेंट्स, these kind of rings in detail when we will be studying polynomial rings. But for the time being, you just need to know this is a ring, and this is particularly an integral domain. Okay, so moving ahead to the next example of integral domain, and this is basically, you can say, a theorem, or this is a result, that this we are talking about Zn. So Zn is an integral domain if and only if n is prime. Right, so we are going to prove this, that we have seen that Z6, we have just seen the example of Z6. Z6 had 3 zero divisors, 2, 3 and 4 were the zero divisors present in the ring Z6. Because Z6 में zero divisors थे, तो Z6 clearly जो है integral domain नहीं है. And similarly, if I ask you about Z4, so Z4 is also not an integral domain. Z4 क्या है? 0, 1, 2, 3. इसमें what is the element? Say 2 into 2 if you do. So 2 itself, 2 is the zero divisor, because 2 into 2 will make it 4, which is 0 mod 4, right? So 2 is a zero divisor in this ring. So this is a general result which I am telling you, that a ring of integers modulo n is going to be an integral domain only when n is prime, if and only when n is prime. So we have to give the two-sided proof. So firstly, we assume that n is prime. So what we need to prove that Zn is integral domain. I'm writing this ID in short for integral domain. You can also use that. Okay, so what we need to prove that Zn is an integral domain. So the definition of integral domain says that there are no zero divisors. So that is, we want to prove that there are no zero divisors in Zn, right? So what we'll do, on the contrary, we will suppose. On the contrary, suppose there exists AB belongs to Zn. A and B both are non-zero. A also non-zero, B also non-zero. But A into B becomes zero, because this is what the meaning of zero divisor is. Now हम opposite suppose कर रहे हैं, हम suppose कर रहे हैं कि वहां पे zero divisor हैं, तो कोई ना कोई दो नॉन जीरो एलिमेंट ऐसे जरूर होंगे जिनको मल्टीप्लाई करने पे जीरो बनेगा, राइट? ए बी इज जीरो. नाउ ए बी इज जीरो मॉड एन मीन्स व्हाट? ए बी इज एन, एन का मल्टीपल होगा, क्योंकि मॉडुलो एन में जीरो एलिमेंट कौन से होते हैं? जो एन के मल्टीपल्स होते हैं. एन खुद 2n 3n, राइट? सो दिस इज n into some say k, where k is an integer, right? So it will be some multiple of n. So this implies a divides n, b divides n, or either a divides n or b divides n, because you see you have written this as a function here, as a number here. So from here, this is a very this is the rule of divisibility. So a or b will be dividing n, but is it true? What's the contradiction? So we reach at a contradiction.
That n is prime.
अगर a डिवाइड करेगा n को तो फिर a 0 ही होगा.
हाँ, a 0 होगा,
मतलब मॉड n में
डिवाइड कर रहा है तो यानी प्राइम के और
हाँ मतलब n इज प्राइम, a 0 नहीं हो सकता, वो भी हमने
फैक्टर्स नहीं है, प्राइम नहीं होगा.
हाँ, तो n का a डिवाइड n मीन्स n इज, वो n का कोई फैक्टर होगा, डिवाइजर होगा, नॉन जीरो डिवाइजर. तो प्राइम नंबर के ही जो डिवाइजर्स होते हैं वो सिर्फ 1 होते हैं और n. सो a और b जो हैं वो 1 भी नहीं है, बिकॉज जो 1 है मल्टीप्लिकेटिव आइडेंटिटी, इट्स नेवर गोइंग टू बी अ जीरो डिवाइजर. ये भी आप अलग से इसको जस्टिफाई कर सकते हो कि ये जो a और b है ये 1 भी नहीं हो सकते हैं. Let's see just that. First of all, so this is means this is sufficient to write because it's a contradiction, because n is prime, right? So जो हमने suppose किया था वो गलत है. Therefore, Zn is integral domain. So what was the result which I just talking about? That 1 is never a zero divisor of ring R. Means 1 means multiplicative identity in any ring. किसी भी ring की जो multiplicative identity है, जो unity है, वो कभी भी zero divisor जो है नहीं हो सकता है. This is something. So you think upon it, how you are going to prove this one. Okay, so let's do the converse part of it. Converse में हमें assume करना है कि वो integral domain है और prove करना है कि n is prime. So conversely, suppose that Zn is integral domain and we need to prove that n is prime. तो यहाँ पे भी same है. On the contrary, suppose n is composite. So if n is going to be a composite number, then what is going to happen? There will be it's factorization, so you can always find the numbers strictly lying between 1 and n, which are the divisors of that, because that's what the definition of composite number is. And whenever you're writing this, it implies a divides n, b divides n, and everybody knows that a and b will belongs to Zn, because Zn में 0 से लेकर n-1 तक सारे एलिमेंट्स आते हैं. सो ये जो a और b होंगे 1 और n के बीच में लाई कर रहे हैं, they will be definitely belonging because they are integers. दे विल बी डेफिनेटली बिलोंगिंग टू Zn. सो हमें रिंग के दो एलिमेंट्स मिल गए जिनका जो प्रोडक्ट है वो n के इक्वल है. इट इम्प्लाइज a डॉट b इज n विच इज 0 mod n. सो दो नॉन जीरो एलिमेंट्स, क्योंकि ये 1 और n के बीच में है, सो क्लियरली a और b जो है नॉन जीरो है. सो इट दिस इज अ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन कि दो नॉन जीरो एलिमेंट्स को मल्टीप्लाई करके हम जीरो ले आए. दिस इज कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन टू द फैक्ट दैट हमने अज्यूम किया है Zn को इंटीग्रल डोमेन. Therefore n has to be prime, right? So हमारा जो रिजल्ट हुआ वो हुआ Zn is integral domain if and only if n is prime. So it's very useful result. So everybody can tell Zn is not integral domain. Yes, you have some doubt?
लास्ट वाले 2 स्टेप्स रिपीट करना.
ये वाला यहाँ से. Okay, so I'll repeat the complete one. We suppose that n is composite. हमें prove करना है n prime है, तो on the contrary, we suppose that n is composite. So if it is a composite number, so this is the definition of composite number, that there will exist divisors other than 1 and n, because prime number की definition होती है कि उसके सिर्फ दो ही divisors हैं, एक number 1, क्योंकि number 1 जो है वो हर number का divisor है, 1 divides every number, और number itself. कंपोजिट नंबर्स के अपने डिवाइजर्स 1 और n के अलावा और भी डिवाइजर्स जो हैं एग्जिस्ट करेंगे, तो ऑब्वियसली डिवाइजर्स उस नंबर से छोटे ही होते हैं. सो दिस मींस देयर एग्जिस्ट टू नंबर्स a and b व्हिच आर नॉन जीरो एंड लाइंग इन दिस. अब ये डिवाइजर्स हैं, सो आई नो a डिवाइड्स n, b डिवाइड्स n, एंड ये Zn का पार्ट होंगे डेफिनेटली बिकॉज दीज आर सेटिस्फाइंग दिस. नाउ सो जब अब ए बी इज इक्वल टू एन लिखा है, सो वो उनको मल्टीप्लाई करके एन आ रहा है. एन रिंग Zn में एन का मतलब क्या है? जीरो, जीरो mod n. So that means two non-zero elements of the ring upon multiplication giving me a zero. This means A and B are acting as zero divisors of Zn. But it's a contradiction because I assumed that ring is an integral domain and it has no zero divisor. So वहां पे zero divisor नहीं हो सकते, so वो contradiction हो गया. Therefore हमने prove कर दिया n has to be prime. So this is the result we have just proved. So इसमें आप बहुत सारे examples देख सकते हो. I'll give you any number, say Z200. Is it an integral domain or not? You can say simply it is not an integral domain. All what you have to do is इस number को देखना है, ये prime होगा तो वो integral domain होगा, नहीं तो नहीं होगा. Am I clear on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So this was a simple result, but it is a very strong result used many times, and means हम field theory करेंगे तब भी हमें इस result की जरूरत पड़ेगी. So it's used many times at many places. Yeah. So this is the definition of integral domain. These are examples. You can find plenty of more examples. Zn की बात हो गई, उसको हमने prove कर दिया. And then we have, okay, I'm now giving you another example of a ring. This one is not an integral domain, right? So can you tell me any zero divisors? So M2Z is a ring of 2 cross 2 matrices over integers. बिकॉज मेट्रिसेस में हमें शुरू से पढ़ाया गया है कि हाँ मेट्रिसेस में ऐसे हो जाता है कि दो नॉन जीरो मैट्रिक्स को मल्टीप्लाई करके हम जीरो मैट्रिक्स प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. तो बेसिकली वो दैट मीन्स जो सेट ऑफ मैट्रिसेस है उसमें हमारे पास जो है इट्स वेरी देयर आर वेरी गुड चांसेस टू फाइंड जीरो डिवाइजर्स. दो नॉन जीरो मैट्रिसेस बताने हैं आप मुझको 2 क्रॉस 2.
मैम 0 1 1 0 एंड 1 0 0 1.
1 0
0 1 and 0 1 1 0.
Okay. What is the answer?
Ma'am, it is not zero.
इसीलिए बोला है 1 into 0 plus 0 into 1 is 0. 1 into 1 ऑब्वियसली बिना देखे बता सकते हैं कि ये आंसर आएगा क्योंकि ये आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट है, राइट?
Like 1 0 0 0.
हाँ, just you can take 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 1. This example can work, right? This is 0 0 0 0. ये आइडेंटिटी है, आइडेंटिटी को तो किसी से भी मल्टीप्लाई करोगे सेम ही आएगा. बट सो वैसे भी अभी मैंने आपको बताया था कि आइडेंटिटी एलिमेंट जो है किसी रिंग का मल्टीप्लिकेटिव आइडेंटिटी, दैट कैन नेवर बी अ जीरो डिवाइजर. So you have to look for other examples. So these are two individually non-zero matrices, but on product giving you a zero matrix. Therefore, this ring is not an integral domain. अब not an integral domain किसी भी ring को prove करना हो, so sufficient to find one example. Okay, but integral domain prove करना हो तो आपको general proof देना पड़ेगा. Okay, so these are all about examples. I'll add more questions in the assignment where you can practice of checking whether a given ring is an integral domain or not. So the next thing we are going to talk about in connection with integral domains is cancellation law. So it says that if A, B, C belongs to R and R is basically a ring which is an integral domain, so it obviously means it's a commutative ring with unity, which in which there are no zero divisors. So I'm directly writing ID, and if A is non-zero, AB is AC, then B is C. So this means like this, means this is the statement. Cancellation law. यूजुअली हम ऐसे करते हैं ना, जैसे इंटीजर्स में या रियल नंबर्स में हम क्या कहते हैं, 2x is 2y implies x is y, राइट? ऐसे ही करते हैं इंटीजर्स में या रियल नंबर्स में, बिकॉज हमें पता है 2 गेट्स कैंसल्ड विद 2. वो 2 क्यों कैंसल्ड होता है? बेसिकली यू कैन मल्टीप्लाई बोथ साइड्स विद 1/2, राइट? सो उनको कैंसिल कर देते हैं, फिर x इज इक्वल टू y आ जाता है. तो बेसिकली ये स्टेप होता है, यू कैन मल्टीप्लाई ऑन बोथ साइड्स विद the inverse of the element, because multiplication is allowed, that is well defined, and inverse and its element gets cancelled, means they become identity. कैंसिल होने का मतलब है they give identity, so this becomes x equals to y. तो यही भी वही चीज है कि एक इंटीग्रल डोमेन में कैंसलेशन हो सकती है. जैसे अगर आप इन जनरल मैट्रिसेस में पूछो, अगर आप जैसे मैट्रिसेस में भी आपको ऐसे एग्जांपल्स मिल जाएंगे. सपोज ए बी इज इक्वल टू ए सी, सपोज ए बी सी आर मैट्रिसेस over reals over integers from wherever they are of any order, provided the this is defined, their multiplication is well defined, then this does not imply b is equal to c in general. वो इसीलिए होता है because we do not know whether a is invertible or not. तो यहाँ पे भी ये होता है, अगर तो मैट्रिक्स a इन्वर्टिबल है फिर तो हम उसको उसके दोनों तरफ इनवर्स से मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते हैं, और a इनवर्स इनटू a इज आइडेंटिटी मैट्रिक्स, दिस गिव्स यू b is c. That means elements, if the inverses are existing, so we can do that. So this almost similar proof is here happening here for cancellation law. Means the proof is not similar, but you will see why it is valid, right? So let me prove with this that cancellation law holds in an integral domain. So you are given a is a non-zero element and a and b is equal to c. What I have to prove is b is equal to c, and I can use the information that the ring is an integral domain. So I can just rewrite this as a into b minus c is 0. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
And now you tell me what should be the next step. This ring is ID, so obviously
Ma'am, AB equal to AC होगा.
I'm sorry, yeah, AB is equal to AC, yeah. A, B, C तीनों रिंग के एलिमेंट हैं, तो जो ये जो B माइनस C है वो भी रिंग का ही एलिमेंट होगा. So we know that क्लोजर अंडर सब्ट्रैक्शन इज आल्सो देयर बाय डिफॉल्ट. या सो ये रिंग आईडी है, तो मुझे प्रॉपर्टी आईडी की डेफिनेशन यूज करनी है कि इसमें जीरो डिवाइजर्स नहीं है. जीरो डिवाइजर ना होने का मतलब क्या है कि दो एलिमेंट्स का प्रोडक्ट अगर जीरो बन रहा है, इट इम्प्लाइज one of them has to be zero. So either a is zero or b minus c is equal to zero. But a क्या given है मुझे? Non zero. it implies the only possibility is b minus c is 0, which is b is equal to c. तो यही प्रूव करना था. सो एसेंशियली हमने प्रूव कर दिया दैट कैंसलेशन लॉ होल्ड्स इन एन इंटीग्रल डोमेन. So whenever now somebody asks you in general that okay, if xy is xz, does it always implies y is equal to z? So then the question should be, if x, y, z are the elements in an integral domain, then definitely. But if they are not an elements of integral domain, then we do not know. It may or may not happen. तो उस केस में कब होता है? जब इनवर्सेस एग्जिस्ट करते हैं, एज आई जस्ट टोल्ड यू. या तो वो यूनिट एलिमेंट हो, फिर इनवर्स एग्जिस्ट कर गया और ये प्रूव हो जाता है. समथिंग इज कनेक्टेड. ये यूनिट एलिमेंट्स की एग्जिस्टेंस और इंटीग्रल डोमेन में कनेक्शन है. विल कम टू दैट लेटर. बट अभी के लिए you just remember this result. We can use this result, right? So I leave this as a question to you. You explore whether the converse of this is true or not. If a cancellation law holds in a ring, then whether that ring is an integral domain or not, right? So I'm posing it as a question. You explore it, take the help of the book, try proving it yourself or disproving. And get me an answer in the next lecture, that if cancellation law holds in a ring, is that ring always integral domain or not? Obviously given the commutative property and with unity, that property. Okay, is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so one definition I'm going to give you is idempotent. ये शायद आपने पहले भी पढ़ा होगा ग्रुप में. Are you aware with this term idempotent?
null matrix. Also null.
नहीं, वो एक तो nilpotent होता है, ये idempotent है. हाँ, matrices में भी पढ़ते हैं हम. ये idempotent matrix होता है हमारे पास.
Equal to identity होता है.
2 is equal to.
Yeah, so I'm giving you the general definition. So if you have something like an element, this is a general definition. An element A belongs to any ring is idempotent if A square is A. So ये idempotent की definition होती है. उसका square करो, वही element आ जाए, उसको हम idempotent element बोलते हैं. So you can have example. तो जो unit element unity होगा, ये रिंग, अब हम कम्यूटेटिव रिंग विद यूनिटी की ही बात कर रहे हैं, जितने भी बात कर रहे हैं, राइट? तो जो यूनिटी एलिमेंट होगा, इट्स ऑलवेज आइडेम्पोटेंट. एवरीबडी कैन सी दैट, क्योंकि आइडेंटिटी को अपने साथ ही मल्टीप्लाई करोगे ई स्क्वायर, यू आर डेफिनेटली गोइंग टू गेट द आइडेंटिटी. एंड यू कुड हैव जस्ट एग्जांपल ऑफ, हमने अभी Z6 का एग्जांपल लिया था, राइट? Z6 में 5 we found to be idempotent. No, sorry, 5 was not idempotent. What else can we have an idempotent elements here? 3. Let's see, 3. 3 into 3 is 9.
मैम 4 हो जाएगा ना, 4 into 4 16, उसमें से 12 माइनस हो जाएगा तो 4 आ जाएगा.
हाँ, I want to see 9 also. 9 is also idempotent. Oh, sorry, 3. 3 is also idempotent in this one. 4 into 4 is 16. That is also idempotent in this, right? Anyways, so this was just example of idempotent elements. You can find such elements in any ring with unity. What particular result we have, which is very easy to show. So you have to show that only idempotent elements of an integral domain are 0 and 1. So it's with for any integral domain, right? Right, so let A belongs to R and this R is suppose an integral domain, then by definition of idempotent element, A square has to be A. That's the definition of idempotent. So A square minus A will be 0. So a into a minus 1 will be 0, right? Now I will be using the definition of integral domain. So if clearly, yeah, of course, यहाँ पे मुझे लिखना चाहिए आइडम्पोटेंट की डेफिनेशन में नॉन जीरो एलिमेंट, बिकॉज जीरो को हम नहीं इंक्लूड करते हैं क्योंकि जीरो तो डिफॉल्ट, जीरो को जीरो का स्क्वायर करो, क्यूब करो, कुछ भी वो जीरो ही रहेगा. सो और यू कैन से जीरो इज ऑलवेज आइडम्पोटेंट, बट if you include non-zero element in the definition of idempotent, then definitely यहाँ पे हम लिख सकते हैं a is non-zero. Or let's not write that, because if you go by the statement, so यहाँ पे they are including zero, because actually it depends upon book to book. कुछ books में वो idempotent की definition में non-zero include कर लेंगे, तो वो इस statement में फिर only idempotent element is one. But in some books they will not include non-zero in the definition of idempotent, so accordingly. But okay, let's be consistent. यहाँ पे हम नहीं include करते हैं to go with this result. Okay, so now you tell me, a into a minus 1 is 0. What does it mean? I use the definition of integral domain.
Either a 0 or a minus 1 0.
हाँ, because now this is what being no zero divisor, कि अगर दोनों numbers का product 0 है तो दोनों में से एक को 0 होना ही पड़ेगा, तो either a is 0 or a minus 1 is 0, or so a is 0 or a is 1. So that means बस यही दोनों elements हैं जो इस equation को satisfy कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि इसको ही solve किया ना हमने. So that means these are the only two idempotent elements in an integral domain, right? तो दिस इज ऑल्सो अ स्मॉल रिजल्ट. इनकी एक्चुअली रिजल्ट्स की यूटिलिटी होती है आगे बड़े रिजल्ट्स को प्रूव करने में. अभी के लिए हमें लगता है कि ये सिर्फ छोटी छोटी प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, रिमार्क्स हैं, बट समवेयर दे आर यूज्ड इन प्रूविंग ऑफ सम बिगर रिजल्ट्स where these kind of concepts arises. So kind of you can remember, okay, I'll give you an integral domain and ask you what are the idempotent elements in integers. So there are only two integers which when squared gives the same number. So there are only two elements, 0 and 1, right? So in integers we can always imagine the things and we can always write, but we are sometimes not able to imagine for other type of rings. But this is a kind of a general result you have proven. So for any integral domain, this is going to be true, right? Okay. So, and one more thing, one more result we can do. This is actually, I'm writing them as a result, but these are given as part of the exercise problems in the book Galilean. So few exercises I try to cover in lecture and few exercises we'll discuss in part of the assignment. So it's easy to see that if I ask you to prove that a raised to power n is a, where a is an idempotent element of a ring R. Can you prove this? आइडम्पोटेंट की क्या डेफिनेशन है? अभी हमने किया a स्क्वायर इज a, राइट? अब मैं क्या कह रही हूँ कि a स्क्वायर ही सिर्फ a नहीं होगा, उसकी कोई भी पावर, या n इज इंटीजर हियर, ऑब्वियसली n इज इंटीजर, उसकी कोई भी इंटीग्रल पावर पॉजिटिव, n इज पॉजिटिव इंटीजर, उसकी कोई भी इंटीग्रल पावर जो है वो भी a के ही इक्वल होगी. सो कैन यू प्रूव दिस, और व्हाट विल बी द वे, कौन से वे से आप प्रूव करना चाहोगे, ट्राई करना चाहोगे? Anybody is having any idea? How should we try this result?
By induction.
Yeah, by induction we can start with, yeah, it's going to be easy with induction. So you can start with n is 1. So n is 1, I know. A raised to power 1 is just a. N is 2. A square is a, because this is definition given to me. It's an idempotent element, right? You can try n3. What is n3? N equals to 3 is going to be a cube, a square into a. Now a square is just a, you have just seen. So it's a into a is again a square, which is again a. So you will see gradually with every power this is going to happen. So this is the step I'm sorry, battery is low. My PC can shut down any time, but it's okay. We are almost done with the lecture. तो ये बंद हो गया तो ठीक है. Let's quickly finish this one. Step 1. Step 2, you know, is let's assume that the result holds for n is equal to k, and step 3 में क्या होता है, हमें k plus 1 के लिए करना है. So k plus 1 will be k into a. Now results hold for n is equal to k means a raised to power k is a. So a raised to power k is a into a. So this is again a square, which is a. So very easily proved, right? So this is also another property you can see for idempotent elements कि उसका अब ये इसमें हमने कहीं पे भी इंटीग्रल डोमेन नहीं यूज किया है इस रिजल्ट को प्रूव करने में. सो दिस रिजल्ट इज इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ द रिंग बीइंग इन इंटीग्रल डोमेन और एनीथिंग. दिस इज अ जनरल रिजल्ट अबाउट आइडेम्पोटेंट एलिमेंट्स, राइट? दैट उसका कोई भी पावर a के ही इक्वल होगा. Is it fine? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So in next lecture, we'll try more problems related with this integral domains and these kind of elements, and we'll continue with another definition. Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank